Go- Good morning. Welcome to Zambia Block Talk Radio live stream. My name is Roger here in Okotok, Alberta, Canada. Joining me, Brian Chavala with some good activity where he is in Middletown. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me, and it's good to be back.
It's good to be back, of course, especially after you get COVID. Levi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Good to be back.
yeah. Yeah, like I told, I don't know if it's the viewers or listeners yesterday, I got COVID-19 for a good 10 days. I think I was a little bit cold. Other than that, no coughing much, no nothing. So, and I was counting like Levi, the way you count your Tesla vehicles when you see them. Yeah, they say on the 7th day, if you are okay, if you are not admitted to the hospital, then probably you are going to survive. So on the 7th day, I was like, okay, here we go. 7th, 8th, 9th, there we go. So
Nice.
Here I am. I got my COVID vaccine. If you haven't got yours, get some protection. We need everyone to be okay. So we have small assignments to do today, Levi, Brian. We just want to dig some money somewhere. Before we ask a question, what is really happening with crypto, man?
It's Elon. Elon is what's happening.
What's going on with the crypto guys?
He's unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, I'll give my take. I'll give my take on there. But what we are going to be doing, Levi, is go back where we started, take one clip or two, just have a feel of what we discussed in the previous discussion. That way we are reminded whether we are making progress or we are not making progress. So this was the 2nd of May 2000 and the last Saturday when we met. Benson was here that time. So we were just talking about a lot of things. So here are some of the things you guys said. Since Benson is not here, we'll play it last. This is Brian talking about his son's Ethereum. Probably is going to report on that. What did Brian say?
My son received $100 worth of Ethereum on his birthday, which is only 10 days ago. Now it's gone up by 40%. And whilst he's playing outside with his friends, his money is growing. So money works. That's the thing. Money doesn't sleep. Yeah. Money will work for you when
money doesn't sleep. Yeah,
money doesn't call out. That money doesn't call out sick. Money doesn't go on vacation. It works once it's invested properly. It works for you.
Once it is invested properly, it works for you. Yeah, just a quick recap there. What is investing properly mean?
It's in a nutshell. I think it's doing your due diligence. You figure out what your goal is first of. I mean, that's where you start from. You figure out what your goal is. You figure out why you have that goal.
Yeah.
And then you start looking at what are the vehicles in which you can invest.
Yeah.
And once you are comfortable with that, you invest and then plan it in such a way that you know how long you want to invest, you know what the percentage threshold that you want as a return. That, in my opinion, is what I would term investing properly. Like, as long as you've done your due diligence, you've done, your research, so to speak. I would call that investing properly.
Okay. We would go deep, but I think one of the questions most people have is when we come to the goal. It sounds like a very simple question, and yet it is very complicated to a lot of people. I'll give you an example. For instance, some people would say, I'm investing for my retirement. A lot of people don't want to hear that for some reason. I'm investing for my retirement. But if you say, I want to save and invest, say, for instance, at the end of the year, I want at least 30,000, then they wake up. Is it that we cannot relate our future to money, or what could be the problem, Levi?
The way I look at it pretty much is for one, you have to set goals, right? So let's say, for example, let's use your example. If someone is scared of retirement, because what happens with retirement, pretty much what it means is it's a long period of time. If someone is 30 years old, if they're going to retire at 60, they're looking at 30 years out. But you can always break it down to, small goals. Like, what do I want to have in 6 months? What do I want to achieve in 1 year? What do I want to achieve in 2 years? Mm-hmm. I think that can make a little bit more sense.
Break it down. I like that.
Because it's hard to, look 30 years.
Yes.
We don't know if we'll be alive.
So
break it down will make more sense to a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. Saving makes me be aware of the environment where I am. Here is Levi.
Like, I've realized of late, I'm very aware of what's going on in my surroundings. If a Tesla car passes by, I'm looking at it. How is it driving? If I go to the supermarket, I'm looking at the prices. I'm looking at how people are behaving. Like, that's a beauty, I think, about investment too. Mm-hmm. It's not about the money. It makes you aware. It makes you think.
Yes.
2 years out, 3 years out. So I think that's the beauty of it.
Levi, that point you make, actually, probably today, it creates some kind of the basis of everything we are going to be doing, especially when it comes to saving a little bit of money.
Right.
When you are not in the saving mode, we don't pay attention to a lot of things. But once you are interested in saving some money, and you want to invest, now even small things, they matter.
Absolutely. And just to give you an example, what happened the last week, there was a huge crypto sell-off. I think the reason was they're talking of taxing cryptos and a lot of things. There was a lot of fear in the crypto market.
Yes.
But I was just to relate to that previous point, the last 2 weeks, it's all about the mindset, and it's all about paying attention, because now crypto is selling off. But if you pay a bit of attention and look at the growth stocks, they're coming up now. So I realized money is moving from crypto to growth. It's the same. It's the same traders.
That's what I did. What I did.
It's the same traders who are trading these stocks in crypto. So yes, there's fear in the crypto, but if your mindset is still there and you still have the future, like we always say every day, crypto is the future. Don't sell for a loss. I know you're suffering right now, but you cannot sell for a loss. If you have more money, inject more capital.
Yeah.
It's just money shifting. Because I always have a watch list and I look at it and I'm like, this is just the same money going to growth stocks.
Yes.
So that's how I'm looking at it.
Right. Yeah.
And like the old saying that the journey, 1,000-mile journey starts with one step.
Yeah.
You have to, even like if I'm
Yeah.
driving from here to Florida at night, I can only see so many yards ahead, but at least I know where I'm going, right? So the idea is you already know the end game. If you know the end game, it will be easy to take the steps in between. So you have to, like Levi is saying, the people that are moving from crypto are not saying we are stopping this whole trading business. They are shifting their money from one vehicle into another. So, and that's where the awareness comes in. How aware are you of your environment? How aware are you of everything that's going on? How much research are you doing? To invest in anything, so to speak.
Because of what has been happening in the crypto, actually, we need to make a huge disclaimer. We are only here to talk a little bit of money and encourage ourselves. At the end of the day, the decisions are ours. It is your own experience, by the way.
Right.
My wife lost a little bit of money from crypto. She was pushing me around, but I told her, right now, you are better than the person who has never done this, because now you have experience. Yeah. Now she's even telling me on the daily basis what the price is. So, okay, now you are speaking, which is a huge step. Let's listen to what Benson said as regards to us involving our families in this. And I really appreciate it. Some of the discussions when we talk here, they look small, but they are huge. Here is Benson.
I think for me, the last one is like one of the most important I can think of is invest for and with your family. When you're learn also with your family about investing.
I like that.
Like, for example, your wife is not interested, just tell her, even if she's not interested, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, come see this, all right? And you want me to buy you any stock, like open an account for her, like learn together. And
I like that.
For our kids, because as the kids learn what they're seeing, you may not think they are, but they are learning what if your child right now can pray for food by themselves, it means they've been watching you pray. So they know how to pray for food. So if they can learn how to pray, they can also learn what's investment. They can also learn early. So let's give our kids a head start. Let's start earlier than what we are doing right now. I mean, we are trying, but let's give our kids a better head start so they can have a better life.
I like 2 points. First, it was very funny to me. What I found it very funny when he said, even if your wife is not interested, push her. So I was like, wives are like, it's like they are the same everywhere,
Be careful there, you don't get yourself in trouble.
I know. Oh, she's at work. That's why I can say this. But I found it very unique that you really have to try. I don't know if we'll find a discussion here how to make sure that all these little things we are talking about, we begin to do it with our wives, our partners. The second part, it is on the kids. Kids, I think we really have to pick up our game as I don't know if it is every culture, but the Africans especially, we need to pick up our game. Most of the times, our children, they don't know even what we do. When it comes to investing, the kids, they don't know. If you have a small business, the kids don't know what business you are doing, and hence when you die, everything dies with you.
Right. And that's a good point that you bring up. I've in my past life, I've had a lot of interactions with the Chinese culture, and the one thing that I saw in them is that they teach their children everything they know. You know, whether it's a small business on the corner, they start them early. It gets ingrained, that working culture or that business culture gets ingrained in the kids. So with that lesson, for me personally, I've made it a point that whatever I know, I will teach my children. So that way, even them, and I tell them the reasons why, so that as they're growing up, it will be something that will also be passed on to their children after them. So I think it's a cultural thing that, and having lived in Zambia for a long time, it's a cultural thing that parents are engaged in businesses that their children don't know anything about. Even their spouses don't know anything about.
Right.
All they care about are the fact that they're bringing some money home. But then I've seen it where, when someone dies, like you said, that business dies with them. And I think we need to, have a discussion concerning that, and the shift in mindset that, whatever we know, we should be passed on to our children. Whatever we know should be shared with our spouses. And that alone also helps with, bonding, the family bonding together, talking about these things culturally.
Yeah.
Because when you look at children, the ultimate goal is like they're going to school, but the ultimate goal for them is to get into the workforce or to start businesses of their own. So that means they'll be handling money. So what is wrong with starting them early to understand the power of money, to have respect for money, such that by the time they're getting to that point when they start dealing with money, or be it big money or small money, they're not too excited about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Was it Pastor Chiruba? I asked the question yesterday. Psalm 26, I wrote it somewhere. Psalm 22, verse 6. Train up your child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. He will not depart from it.
Exactly.
The Jewish community, like you have said to the Chinese, they teach their children everything they know. The Jewish, they teach their children, if you want to be a farmer, you should be the best farmer around.
Right.
If you are going to be a dentist, they will help you. And we see the Jewish culture. They never depart, at least from what they've been taught. Zambia, we produce what? Emeralds. We can't polish them. We have to take them to the Jews, to Israel, to polish them if we want them the best. Because they have invested much time and money into making sure that whatever they know it with their kids. And those kids, it will not be easy to depart from it.
Right.
On the other hand, on the African vessel, that verse means something else. So let's find some money. Let's find some money. Levi. We are aware. Now we are aware. You brought up this idea. We are aware of the environment. We need a lot of people would say, "Oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. I can save."
So I looked at Brian sent me a PowerPoint on some tips on savings, and
right.
Probably he'll talk about that later. And I looked at it, and there are some very, very good ideas in there. But
right.
Personally, how I look at it, what was in the PowerPoint was strategies. Like you can do a direct deposit and some very good ideas. But me personally, how I look at it when it comes to saving, I look at purpose and goals and visions. Why do I want to save? For example, my personal ambition, and this is not financial advice.
Yes.
I do not want to work for the rest of my life. Like that thing keeps me up at night. I want to wake up one day and I have my money taken care of. So that drive, that push is the one that makes me do anything. Like I'll pick up a second job just for that reason. So when I go to work and I do 2 jobs, 3 jobs, I'm not getting tired because I'm looking at that vision. I'm saying, in another 5 years, I don't want to work for nobody. So that drive, that ambition, is what makes me save. Because I'm not a good saver. I can admit that. But every time I'm like, I don't want to work for nobody. I'll do everything in my power to save. So I'll use Brian's strategies. They're very good strategies. But for me, what drives me is the purpose and the vision. And as you're talking about kids, that's what drives me.
You don't. After I shouldn't say this on air. We never know. We never know who is watching. But I just felt after you stay even 10 days at your house, your thinking just changes. When time to go back to work comes, you are like, I don't know about this. Whatever it is, all of us, I think, at some point we don't want to work. At some point, we don't. One, it's not that it's a choice. Time will also come when you can't work. That's just a fact.
Right.
Okay.
And I think to just add on to what Levi was saying, and that's the other point that I brought up, that it's knowing the why that's important. Levi knows the why he needs to do what he needs to do. So once you know the why and where you're going with that why, it makes the process a lot easier to fulfill. But when you don't know the why, you just be tossed about by the wind. So that's why now when you know the why, you set the goals.
Okay.
And it's like I've always said, it's all about the mindset. You set the goals, and whenever things come to push you away from the goals, you stand your ground and say, no, I know the why, and these are my goals. I'm not going to shift from this. My wife brought up a good point yesterday when we're having this conversation with the kids. She said that let's try a saving challenge, meaning that when you go to the store, you just don't buy stuff on impulse. Whatever it is that you wanted to buy, you say, okay, let's save this money and put it towards something. We have so many challenges going on in the world, like ice water bucket, whatever challenge, all these things.
Yeah.
Why can't we have saving challenges and say, you know what, by such and such a time, I need to save so much money, And you just, nothing in life is guaranteed, but we have to prepare for that uncertainty that will come at some point.
Yeah, Brian, you made a very good point. That the why.
Right.
As nobody wants to. Personally, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. But that why makes me wake up earlier than everybody else. That why, because I know this is the vehicle that will give me freedom. There's nothing I value as freedom. I always put my freedom up there. So if it's going to work and I know this is the vehicle that will get me there, that is my why.
Right.
That is my why. I'll be the first person there and the last person to leave, but because I have a why. And if I didn't have that why, trust you me, I'll be the last person to get work.
What I just know is that I need a lot of money at the end of the year. I need a lot of money. I also need a lot of money where I don't have to miss Canada if I went back home. I don't have to miss this place.
Buy more crypto. They are sleeping right now.
Crypto and this guy's behavior, I don't know. So again, we just want to look at some of those strategies. I don't know if Brian put all of them, but according to Levy, according to what you said earlier on, being aware of the environment, it's part of the strategies. Being we already know, all of us, regardless of the reason, let's just say, gentlemen, regardless of the reason you need to at some point you're going to need money. Whether you don't want to work all the time, whether you are like me who has the agenda to go back to Zambia, whether it is saving for kids to go to college, whether it is whatever the reason. There is a reason. There is a reason you want to save.
Right.
Now that we know that we all have a reason, what are the some of the strategies, like you said, Brian put out there, which would make us aware. Maybe we were not. I'll give you this one. I like here. I don't know if it's from Brian. But this is number, let me show you here. This one, I don't like to do this. Number 4, I don't like to do this.
Me too.
I don't like it either.
Yes.
I think there's a kind of negative connotation that it's being cheap, and people get embarrassed when they hold up the line because they're using too many coupons. You know, but
I don't want someone in front of me with coupons, bro.
there you go. But then the person using coupons, there are two things. Either they're hard on cash, right, which is fine, or they know the why.
They know the why.
They know the why. And you have people that are so addicted. I've seen this happen. I did my internship at Walmart, and I would work the cash register. There are people that are into these things. And I want to believe that most of them know the why. Because like Roger is saying, whether you like it or not, there will come a point in life when you won't have to work, when you are not going to work because your body cannot allow you to work. So that's another why, you know? So we just have to, this coupon idea may not work for me. Maybe something else may work for me. You understand what I mean? Like we have to pick and choose, you know, which ones work. Like I gave an example of, there are like cell phone companies, right? If you set up auto pay every month, you save $20 on your bill, and that $20 translates into $240 over a period of 1 year, right? And then the question is, where do you put that money? Do you just save it? Do you invest it? You know, that kind of depends on what you want to do. But then the idea is, don't spend that extra $20 for that month.
That's the thing.
You know,
that's the thing. I hate the coupons. My wife, she doesn't really do coupons, but I don't know what she does online, and she makes these savings. To your point, Levy, if we are beginning to understand our surroundings, if our time is running out, time is coming when I'm going to need these coupons, to use these coupons. So instead of me being forced to use the coupons, why don't I use them now? And those savings, I take them to crypto. I buy cryptocurrency, or I buy Bitcoin. I buy something. I invest. Why not?
I think it as Brian said, I don't think coupons will work for me. There are a lot of strategies out there for saving, and I also don't just look at it as savings. I also look at it as how can I be able to make more money, Like for example, right now the job market is opening. Like we are lucky, here in America, you can be offered two, 3 jobs at the same time. And before I was like, oh, I don't want to do 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I don't want to kill myself. But now most of the work we're doing it at from home. I just picked up another job the other day. So I'm also looking at how can I make. Yes, I'll be I'll be beating myself up, but I have that why.
Okay.
So my
Why
strategy
we all
also
know.
is
The why is there. The
I
why
want to
is
get more
definitely
into
there.
there. So as
Yeah.
long as the why is there,
Yeah.
route you use,
You go.
yes.
Okay. So anyway,
But no coupons for me.
for you. But I mean, all the strategies. Say, for instance, a second job. Levy. Not everyone can do a second job. I can't do a second job. By the way, I work 12-hour shifts, so they're just impossible to do another job. So all these strategies are, like we have always said, we are not financial. It's pick and take. Whatever you can use. If you use, say, for instance, coupons, we talked about coupons. Those who do, what are you doing with that money? Are you investing it? Or are you now having more money to shop, which defeats the purpose, in my view? So for those who already do it, it's better. But I mean, if you are listening, your life, you have some strategy we can also use. Brian, 1 or 2, throw in yours.
So years ago, my wife came up with this idea that we should not be buying like paper towels or the toiletries from like walking into a store. So she subscribed to Amazon, right? So Amazon, everything just gets shipped every month, right? It's on a set date they get. So that saves us. First of all, it saves us the cost of buying from the store because Amazon is cheaper, and then we're buying in bulk. And then on top of that, we're earning points on Amazon, which is actually translated into cash that we can, purchase more stuff. Another point is that usually, studies have been done when people walk into Walmart for one thing, they come out with 10 things. So already we're eliminating that process of coming out with 10 things when I actually just went for paper towels. So that's one we do.
I like that.
Packing lunch to work, like back 1 year ago when I was going to work, I would always carry lunch with me. Of course, a few times I would just buy, but the idea was it costs too much money to be buying lunch every day at work. Second of all, it ends up not being even healthy food. So when
it's usually McDonald's,
right? Yeah. So so I'm tackling 2 issues there: saving money and staying healthy. So those are some of the tips. We found that we were not watching too much TV, like in terms of cable. The only time that I would sit down to watch TV was when I was watching soccer or the news.
Yeah.
And then cable is of course overpriced. But then it comes in packages with the internet, right? So we cut out the cable part and just, our phone service comes with free Netflix. So, the kids are able to watch Netflix. And for the kids, it's the reason why we didn't like cable is because of all the commercials that come in between. So we cut that out. And then because we have Amazon comes with Amazon Prime, so we're able to watch whatever we want to watch. And then I have a subscription to soccer channels that I'm able to, so I'm not really missing out, but I've cut down a big chunk of the bill that was going towards the cable. So those are just some of the things that that we personally do and we find them beneficial. So I had a situation where I was teaching my children how to code. So other parents started getting what's the word? They wanted their kids to get on the same path. So they said, "Can you teach our kids? We'll pay you to do this." So I said, "Okay, that's fine." So I teach on a weekend, like Saturday, I would teach like for an hour or two. The minute they pay me, I just go on my phone, directly deposit that money into my kids' account. So that way, like you're saying, get a second job. That's my second. It's time that I could have wasted on something else, but I'm helping a child, with something for their future. Yeah. And at the same time, I'm being rewarded for it. So I'm taking that money and their kids come and check their accounts to see how much money daddy has made for them on a weekend.
But why do they get that money? What's the reason they get that money?
In a way, I don't have a use for it, and I know the why in terms of saving for them, because at some point, like, in this environment where we live, they will need the car, right? So, we're saving up for that. They'll need to go to college. We're saving up for that. So it always comes back to knowing the why, and that's our why. So that money is just not
the first two we visit the first two the Amazon savings are those savings being translated into investments?
Right. So then, and that's where now we come back to automatically putting that money in a savings account. And you get paid automatically. So once you figure out how much money you're saving, you can automatically cut that out and put it in a savings account. You see what I mean? Like you just for a rainy day. Like just 2 weeks ago, I was fixing the garbage disposal, and it broke. So it was on warranty, went and replaced it, started it, it was working fine. But consequently, it was just a coincidence that the dishwasher broke at the same time. So then I turned around, I was like, okay. I tried to fix it, it didn't work. I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy, because we need it. We don't have the time to be spending an hour, 2 hours washing dishes by hand. So we definitely need it. So I turned around and buy it. So there was no stress there because there was money set aside for uncertainties.
Okay. I wanted to make really that connection, because the money we are looking for here, Levi, it's money we can save somewhere else, or we can make somewhere else, so we can invest. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I think everything just narrows down to the why. For me personally, how I look at it is, I look at the recurring. High recurring bills. For example, a car note. I've never had a car note since I came to America, right?
You've never had a car loan?
A car note, yeah.
So, a lot of people understand loan, and not. Yeah.
Like for the most part, how I look at it, for the most part, I'm working from home. I really don't need a car apart from just going to the store or going to see a friend, right? So for the most part, my car is parked out here. And that saves me a chunk. People pay $500, $600, $700, $800 a month. So that's money I can use, to invest in the market. And secondly, I also look at, as Brian say, those little skills we can learn. The world now is a global village. You can learn whatever you set your mind to. If you can learn a skill on YouTube, that can make you an extra 100, 200. I didn't know Brian. I didn't know Brian teaches programming. I like you teach my son. So that.
Yeah, I learned. I learned that on YouTube.
You see, so.
And then started taking a few classes here and there.
Absolutely. I think I'll start coding, teaching coding as well.
Yes, just like coding. I learned.
I need something to make some money.
So I learned trading on YouTube. So it's just a matter of your passion, your desire. If it's something you want to learn, YouTube is there. Everything is online now that can make you an extra, $200, $300, $400. So that's how I'm looking at it. So mostly for me, I look at it in terms of how can I make more money?
Yeah.
I'm not good with saving.
I mean, Levi, to you guys actually who are sitting home instead of traveling, all that money which you were using for gas, going
Absolutely.
to work for gas, that money should be going to some stock somewhere.
That's where it goes.
This is the environment we are talking about, you know, understanding some of these small things.
Absolutely. That's
So
where.
the money is there, Brian. The money is there.
It's there. The money is
money
there.
is
The money
absolutely
has
there.
always been there. You know, it's and that's the the other point that I brought up, that we should treat money as though money has a soul, and we should respect it. Once we respect it, we will know how to take care of it. And then when we take good care of money, it reciprocates. It takes good care of us.
Yeah.
So once we understand, and those are some of the whys that we need to understand. Like, and whatever kind of job the person has, the money is the same color.
Yes.
And that's for our people. That's something that should be taught. It doesn't matter what kind of job you're doing, as long as the money is coming in.
Yeah.
That's all that's important.
Yeah.
So money has always been there. We just have to channel it in the right direction. The malls were shut down during the lockdown. We survived, right? That money that was being spent at Macy's, should be directed towards something else. So that's the respect that we're talking about. Show money some care, it will show you some care back. But when you have a bad relationship with people will run away from you, right? That's the same thing with money. Money will run away from you. Every time you get it, it runs away. I was surprised, actually. I was telling my wife yesterday, we belong to this community Facebook page, and I didn't know that people actually spent. This one lady was talking about her Caucasian child that went to the hair salon and spent $240 on hair. And they do that every 1 month, 2 months. The second time she went to do the same exact thing, they charged her $390.
Wow.
I was like, I was reading to my wife. I was like, babe, is this true? She was like, oh yeah, that's true. It's expensive. But then
it's not expensive. It's insane.
Exorbitant. It's exorbitant.
It's insane.
So that's over $600 that the money, like we said, the money is there, but where is it being channeled?
Right. So the saving part is probably, like we said, teach your children so they may not depart. This is one thing we need to enshrine in ourselves. Become like Jews, become like Chinese when it comes to money. Have respect for money. Okay, our time has gone. Our time has gone, and there are quite a number of them. This brand reminded me when I was in Delaware. Save all your windfalls. Save all your windfalls. I remember working some overtime. I can't remember what I used to do with overtime money. Somehow I'll find an extra somewhere else to use the money.
You do have the why.
Probably yes. Probably yes. One, I didn't have the why. Two, I was not being aware of my environment. So when the overtime is posted, instead of saying this is now an opportunity to buy extra share in Enbridge, a nice company here in Canada, I just got some new positions there this week. Or should I buy some crypto? I never had that. I never had that kind of thinking, that kind of information. So
is that financial advice about Enbridge?
That is definitely no financial advice. That is just my Enbridge here in Canada. By the way, those who are in Canada, if you are in Canada, we have what is called TSA. It is a government program in Canada where you can put your money, of course, just a limit, and you put your money in the TSFA, whatever profit you make, you don't pay taxes on that money. If you are in Canada, TSFA is used. Again, go to YouTube, hear more information about TSFA. It is very, very useful too. So don't just go investing into the bonds or the everywhere outside the TSFA. Government will want a share of the tax. But if you do it within the TSFA, everything you make is free. You don't make it. Is your money. I liked it. I liked it. I'm into it. Okay, my Mwinsho is listening from. We need more people to be listening from Kasemba. That's amazing. That's amazing. Very, very quickly, our time is gone. Any new positions, you guys, this week? Like, I don't know. 401k and in USA is different from I have to find this name, TSFA, in that you control the savings yourself. You say, I want to invest in here, or you have more leverage, so to say. 401k here in Canada, Brian, 401k here is called, I'll remember, it's called RR something. But it's very, 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 very close. I don't know.
I think that the Canadian one that you're talking about is pretty close to Roth IRA here, where like when you invest in it, when you put money in the Roth IRA, you're putting it in that's already taxed, such that the profits that you make in that account are not taxed afterwards. That when you actually reach the appropriate age, I think it's like 59
you
years.
See, when you
like
appropriate age, the TSA here in Canada, you can use that money anytime you want.
Okay. Yeah.
You can use that money anytime you want. I know for 401k, actually, they tax you if you take out your money at
there's a penalty. Yes.
There's a penalty. Yes. Yeah.
But I think her point could be that it's a saving vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Take advantage. Because the employer is contributing.
Right. The employers match you. Right. And actually, this is a very good point. This is a very good point. Sometimes, again, I remember when I was in Delaware, I was contributing very little to the 401k, meaning what the company was giving me was, it's a match. So it wasn't much money because I was not inputting serious money.
Right.
Yeah. So 401k, go Max, Levy, maximize 401k, free money.
And I think that's when you look back, there is no love lost. Like every misfortune, every mistake you did in the past, yes. I always look at it as a learning. I always look at it as capital. That was the capital that I used to learn. So going forward, for example, I think I came to America around 2012. If I just bought cryptos worth maybe 5,000, I wouldn't need to work today. So I'm looking at the next 10 years. I don't want to make that mistake again. So I always look at it as, I always look back, but I look at it positively. I'm like, okay, I missed on that. I made that mistake, but that was my capital. Let me look forward. Let me see what I can do in the next 10 years. So no love lost.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I always do that when I'm looking at stocks trying to buy, and I see one, say it's moved from say it's currently at 50, and 3 years ago it was at $1. I was like, why did I miss this one? You know? So now my mindset is in overdrive, looking for that next one. But then again, I have to still do my due diligence and know that, you know, there is risk to everything, and look at, you know, be aware of my surroundings. Where will this stock take me? And then, you know, make a decision from there.
If only I know what I know now. If only I knew then what I know now.
Don't regret. Don't regret.
No, yeah. No, actually, I thought
you had to make that mistake to know. If you didn't make that mistake, you wouldn't know. So no.
Success is built on failure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I thought my wife was okay. I think the losses in crypto, Levi, were just too much to bear for anybody in my household anyway. So I said, no, we are pausing this baby. We are pausing a little bit because a lot of our platforms we have to use here. When I go in there, I cannot limit.
Roger, you forgot what we talked about. You only lose when you sell, and you buy when there's fear. Now there's a lot of fear in the market. Now is when you go shopping. Look at those. Imagine the
one of the things which has really, in my view, start thinking twice as far as the crypto is concerned. It is how it is being affected by one individual, and boom. It is all over the place. That part I don't think I really like.
Oh, if I can just encourage you for a minute, like I think we talked about this 3-4 weeks ago. It's before you go, you get your feet wet into a stock or a crypto. You've done your due diligence.
Yeah.
And the last time we talked, we say crypto is the future. That's what we say. That is your why right there.
Yeah.
So whatever is happening in between, whatever Elon says, whatever is happening, every day you wake up and it's in the red, you always remember that one reason. Always just have one reason. This is the future. In 10 years' time,
I'm holding a little bit.
You for Dad, can I have some Bitcoin to go shopping? Just remember that.
And you know, maybe he's giving an opportunity for people to jump in. You know, the train left, and then at some point the train stopped and reversed and said, "You know what? Sorry, we forgot you. Get on." Right? Yeah. And then that's the idea. It may sound it's almost like what the enemy meant for evil has been turned into good.
Into good. And spare thought for the guy when Doge went to 0.8. Spare thought for there's a guy who bought at 0.8, but now you're seeing it at 0.3.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Spare thought for that guy. Just buy right there. You're better off than a lot of people.
The market is you see, when crypto went down, was it 40%? The other day when China said they're going to ban all cryptocurrencies. They are banning them in China. That I don't mind. That 40% is really part of the noise of the market. The US government the regulators are investigating this. It goes down. Those are some of the things which are effective in the normal stocks. You know?
Right.
It is the tweet from your man, which to me does not make any sense.
The one thing you also have to realize is the crypto market is very volatile. It's
it is
24-hour market.
It is
over the world.
It is.
So you expect if a stock can go up 100%, it can come down 50%.
Yes.
That's expected.
Yeah.
So as long as you're looking at the future, you're good.
Looking at it, and I like
more money. Add more.
I like what this other guy said the other day. The same way. You tell me any other portfolio which is giving people 400% return. So if it can do that to you, it can even do that to you the other direction. Yeah. So I thought that was good. Your positions, gentlemen, how have they been the same? What are you looking at? What's going on?
Is it it's been time to go to the gym, Levy, right?
No, I've had honestly had a rough week. I had options that were expiring May 21st. That was Friday, and I was buying them when the market was still green around January, February. So yeah, I took a couple losses last week, but on the brighter side, the crypto money is coming to my growth stock. So I'm hoping my EVs, my clean energy, my cannabis stocks will be doing good going forward. So
Yeah.
I'm hopeful, man.
Yeah. Cannabis has been shaky. I'm not sure why. You know, there was so much excitement. People, oh, cannabis. But when you look at the stocks, most of them, they are on the shaky ground. I don't really understand why.
I think the issue may be that once the federal government legalizes, you know, there'll be a big move. And then even though it's legalized in Canada, I tend to think that the Canadian market is too small.
It's too small, okay? That's a fair point.
Yeah, so when the US market opens up and, you know, big players are able to go in because it's legal at the federal level, I think there will be a big shift there.
Okay. What are you looking at? What are you working on as far as your positions are concerned?
So this past week, you know, we haven't bought any. We're just observing with what's going on. We're actually, my wife is thinking more long term in terms of the stocks, like well-established companies like GE. So we're kind of like monitoring GE.
Where is GE? Is it a growth stock or it's on the revenue stock side?
So I mean, GE does offer dividends as well. But then the issue with GE is that they had gone through a time where they invested in so many things and they had a lot of debt on their hands.
Yeah.
So they're trying to kind of narrow down the company and kind of have a focus on
GE was massive, man.
Yeah, so it got hit, and right now I think Friday it was around $13 somewhere. Which actually
I'm sorry, Brian, I like that we always talk about patience, and there's one patience we always forget to mention, like patience when you have the money but you're not buying. Like for example, right now cryptos, if I had the money I would just watch them.
Yeah,
they're on
that's a good point.
And we tend to, this is the dip, let me get it. Like,
you have to.
It's good to be patient.
Crypto. Here is your phone. Crypto right there.
to take a position. So,
yeah, because I think was it Mark Cuban or someone at work said that even having a cash position is a good position.
Absolutely.
When you're there sitting and waiting.
Absolutely.
So there's really no rush to this game, so to speak. You have to have the patience and just kind of see how things play out and observe what's going on around you.
Yes.
I think I guess maybe sometimes I get stuck on the idea. I think I read that from the Cash Quadrant that you target stocks that are between 5 and 20. You have a good over a period of time you're going to have a good return, maybe 5, between 5 and 10 times return. So you have to be patient and know the companies that are established and will be there for the long haul.
Right.
So it takes a lot of, for me it takes a lot of thought process as I learn these things and just pick on other people's brains on what they're thinking about the market and things like that.
Right. Yeah. Because
I don't know if you go ahead, Livy. Go ahead.
Before my main problem was I will hear of a stock and on Monday I want to get. I'm like, this stock is going to leave me. This trade is leaving me.
Yeah.
These days I'm like Brand, I want to get into your position. The one they're mining. Which ticker was it?
BBKC.
Yeah.
CF.
It's been falling of late, so I'm still looking at it. I want to take a position.
Yeah, I mean, when you follow what's going on with it, and it makes sense. It makes sense that it should be where it is. but that it's not going to stay there because of what they have. And that's the thing that I was talking about. You have to look at sometimes you look at the future, like that crypto is the way to go. Crypto is the future, right? So you know that at some point crypto will be regulated. You know that they'll try to close out the loopholes for money launderers and all that, all the criminals, terrorism and all that. So what company is providing that service?
Right.
And that's the one that you're just talking about. So it's like you're patient enough. I feel like should I have been the one to sell Amazon at $11 when I bought at $1? You know what I mean? Because now Amazon is over 3,000. So you have to like think through those thoughts, and not to say that it would be perfect to the dot, to the T. But you have to think through those things and just be patient and not get too excited. Because I've lost money, and that's the thing. Like Roger would say, this is not financial advice, because we lose money sometimes, and a lot of times we lose money. Yeah. So the idea is to just be patient sometimes and just watch things and have conversations with a lot of people, pick their brains on what's going on, what they think.
Have conversation with a lot of people. YouTube is huge on people who have ideas, even stocks. Because I want to look at dividend stocks, but you need quite a bit of money for you if you are going to be getting a good payback. Actually, this week I had to change some of the things I was doing after more research. Then I found that some of the companies I'm investing in, they're American based, which means even if it's zero commission, the company I work with, it's zero commission. The exchange, on the exchange itself, my old dividends were being wiped out. So it didn't make a lot of sense. So I had to come back to Canada. There are companies which may invest into that bond or stuff like that, but they are Canadian-based companies.
Right.
So so this is what the learning here is doing, in my view. It is huge. We didn't finish looking at all of them. Get a side job if you can, this is foreign in Zambia, because there's not even one job to begin with.
Well, it can be a side business of sorts.
Side business, something like
you're
that.
doing one business here, you can do another. And that's I think that's where I was going with. People get ashamed to do what they label low-level jobs, but that should never be the case.
And here they respect them here.
Yes. And the other, just to add on quickly with one thing that I learned the past 2 weeks, you have to pay attention to the language, to the jargon in this level of investing. You have to, if you don't understand the term, Google it. The company that I was talking about that has a lawsuit against Google. I didn't understand the depth of the lawsuit. I mean, I've been in this company for 3-4 years. I didn't understand the depth of the lawsuit until this past 2 weeks. It's a seminal lawsuit, meaning that it's a huge lawsuit that can actually shift the way the search engine market works. So you have to understand. Don't look at words on face value. You have to understand what they mean when you're investing in something.
So do some research. Don't be scared. Do some research on YouTube. Come join us. That's where we exchange some of the ideas. Trust me, I've been learning quite a bit. So probably next week we want to see someone who is in real estate brand, investing in real estate, either flipping houses or buying and selling or whatever. So we want to see if we can invite someone who can come and talk about real estate. Gentlemen, thank you for your time again. Quite fruitful. Be aware of your environment. Always be aware of your environment. There is some money seated out there. So we'll meet next week. We are hoping to find someone in real estate. Let's hear if there is money to be made, Levy, in real estate.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You have a nice weekend.
You as well.